We called this meeting. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm getting a lot of talking to me about a recording.
Yes,
Those
I
are
might.
the conditions under which the determination was made that we need to be meeting in closed session, was to allow the board a free and confidential discussion about that decision. Just for further clarification purposes, what gets said in closed session should stay in closed session. Just if we go out of the meeting does not mean that the precepts of confidentiality of closed session are lifted. That information that takes place in closed session remains confidential until the board votes to release information. So I just want to make that clear. And if any board member chooses to violate the precepts of closed session, then that is impacting the confidence of their colleagues on the board as well as their trust. So with that established, is there a motion to go into closed session? That will be oh, excuse me, let me go through. I've forgotten my Zoom protocol, and I do need for the record to go through, and I didn't call the meeting to order. So I hereby call the meeting officially to order and do a formal roll call. And I'm going to call out the names and ask you to verbally respond. And I'm going to just start by the order in which you appear on my screen. So to my left is Ron. Are you here?
Present.
John Toby.
Yes, here.
Commissioner Khan.
Yep, I'm here.
Commissioner Gilreath. You're muted. You need to unmute yourself.
Present.
Oh, great. Thank you. Commissioner Lumpkins. You need to
I'm here.
also, great. Do I have Commissioner Bridges?
Here.
Great, glad you made it on. And Mayor Pro Tem Fields. I am not hearing you. I think you're, oddly, I'm not seeing you as being muted, but we cannot hear you. Can you give me a thumbs up? Okay, I'm seeing the thumbs up. Let's see if we can figure out that unmuting for you though, for during the discussion. In addition, for the record, we have our attorney, Tom Burnett. We have City Clerk, Cindy Bowen. We have Downtown Economic Development Director, Alyssa Blair. And we have Recreation Director, Tina Cheek, Human Resources Director, Melissa Labar, Fire Chief, David Cottrell, Public Works Director, Stephen Blasko, and Police Chief, Pat Ford, on the call. And so with that, so the way we go into closed session by, yes, ma'am? Is that Pat, Commissioner, is that Mayor Pro Tem?
I just switched back because my iPad was freezing bad.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. Yes, Commissioner Gilreath.
Are we in closed session or we're about to go in closed session?
We're about to go into closed session.
Okay.
And the way that happens is Cindy Bowen and Alyssa have set up a chat room that is just for the board and our
Okay.
attorney. And
Okay.
so she'll invite us into the chat room and then you just click yes and we go in. And actually we could use some instruction, Cindy, on what do we do when we're ready to go out?
You can just come out on your own, exit the chat room.
Exit the chat room and we'll go back into the regular session.
Yes, ma'am. We hope.
Okay.
It's been a while since we did a Zoom, so.
And Jackie, can we get the instructions one more time about the confidentiality? Because when you initially gave it, we weren't called to order.
Okay, yes, so legally under General Statute 143-318.11 on closed sessions, the board, for purposes of considering the qualifications, competence, performance, character, fitness, conditions of appointment, or conditions of initial employment of an individual public officer or employee, we are allowed to meet in closed session for purposes of confidentiality. And with respect to what happens in closed session stays in closed session. Just because we close out the meeting does not mean that then whatever gets said in the meeting, that is the terms of the closed session, is for the trust and confidentiality of the board and their comments. It remains in closed session. And it is not, and the minutes do not reflect the conversation that takes place in closed session. The guidelines for closed session are very clear from the general statutes about for what reasons we are allowed, and for consideration, the board to consider who would be the city clerk, who would be the attorney, or who would be the city manager. Those are the three positions that we supervise. For those determinations, which are personnel matters, we are not only allowed but required to meet in closed session to keep the confidence of the board members. And that confidence is not lifted until the board as a group agrees to open that for public scrutiny. And that includes with release of the minutes of closed session, other than to state the purposes for which we are assembled and the time going in and the time going out. And Ms. Bowen, do you have anything to add to that? Or Mr. Attorney, have I missed anything? You're both on mute.
No, ma'am.
I captured that? Okay, thank you. Are there any questions from any members of the board?
Just a comment, Mayor. If it comes out of closed session and it's and we make a vote in open session, that is no longer considered within the parameters of a closed session.
No, but I would state with respect to a previous vote, it was clarified for the board that nothing was set until references and background check were completed. And the references and background check were completed on when, and that was per the request of the
Yes,
board.
I made the request, but we made, but again, generally speaking, information that's discussed outside of closed session that's in open session is not purview to that. Generally speaking.
Generally speaking,
Okay, thank you.
I would
That's all I
also
wanted to
say
know.
generally speaking about the engagement of somebody before they've been offered the job, because the references and the background check have not been completed. It's not, generally speaking, the best way to go. Are there other
Well,
questions?
Opinions are opinions, aren't they?
Are there other questions? Okay, with that, is there a motion to go into closed session?
Motion.
Motion.
I saw multiple motions. Cindy, did you, let's see, who was that motion? Mayor Pro Tem, I heard her make that motion.
Yes.
Okay, Mayor Pro Tem, motion to go into closed. You'll receive an invitation. Is that any discussion on that motion? All in favor of the motion, signal, oh, no, I gotta do roll call. I apologize. Commissioner Bullock,
Yes.
Commissioner Tovey,
Yes.
Commissioner Khan,
Yes.
Commissioner Gilreath,
Yes.
Commissioner Lumpkins,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem,
Yes.
Commissioner Bridges.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. That passes unanimously. Cindy, move us into the chat room, click accept when we go in, and discussion will commence.
Mayor, let me know if something's not working right, please.
I will do that. I got my phone right here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm back in.
Yep.
Okay. There we go. Let me just make sure that everybody is here. So bear with me while I count you on my screen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Teresa 6. Okay, who am I missing? 1, 2.
Toby.
Okay, yeah, we'll hang on for John. Cindy, did you manage to find out whether we are required to swear in an acting director who's a member of staff?
I did not find out yesterday, but I will keep. I
I'm back.
will check on it today.
Okay, then we've got Commissioner Tovey here, so let me just do my count. 1,
Everybody's
2,
back.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We are all good. Okay. Then is there a motion to appoint a member of staff to be acting city manager?
So moved.
Madam Mayor. So
Yes, ma'am.
Ron got it. So moved.
Okay, Brian, for the Commissioner Khan, for the record, can you please clearly state your motion?
Yes, ma'am. It's my motion that we move to appoint David Cottrell, the acting city manager, until we officially swear in our interim city manager.
Second that.
Okay, and I'm just taking a note, so bear with me. And is there any further discussion on this motion? Okay, hearing no discussion, I will again do the roll call and read your name as you appear on my screen, starting with Commissioner Khan,
Aye.
Commissioner Lumpkins,
Aye.
Commissioner Bullock,
Yes.
Commissioner or Mayor Pro Tem Fields,
Yes.
Commissioner Bridges,
Yes.
Commissioner Gilreath,
Yes.
Commissioner Tovey.
Yes.
Okay, that motion carries unanimously. And I thank you for the.
Madam Mayor,
Yes, sir.
can I, just as a point of clarification, his appointment begins at 12:01 a.m. January the 1st until such time as the new manager or the interim manager is sworn in, just to be clear about that.
Yes,
Good.
excellent. Okay.
Good.
Thank you. We expect the swearing in will happen first thing on on Tuesday, the 3rd, but I appreciate that clarification. And is there any further discussions on this matter? Okay, with that, I do have a question because with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Commissioner Bullock to adjourn. Any discussion? Okay, roll call again. And that is Commissioner Khan,
Aye.
Commissioner Lumpkins,
Yes.
Commissioner Bullock,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem,
Yes.
Commissioner Bridges.
Yes, and I want to say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to everyone.
Thank you. We're glad you made it on with your own face onto the call. That's excellent. Commissioner Gilreath
Yes.
and Commissioner Toby.
Yes.
Okay, so it's unanimous to adjourn with that. We appreciate your patience. It was determined that, Attorney Burnett's suggestion we meet by Zoom to make it a little bit easier and quicker for everybody this morning. Commissioner Khan, we appreciate your ability to shift your call so that you could sit in on this. Thank you very much. And I wish you all a wonderful rest of your day and
Happy New Year.
Happy
Yes,
New Year.
Happy New Year,
Happy New Year.
everyone.
Happy New Year.
Thank
Happy New
you.
Year.
See y'all next year.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.